This is the story of 3 attempts to build a city inside a mountain, separated by 2,000 years, and completely different reasons for doing it. One was carved by hand and forgotten in a basement. One was blasted out of solid granite to survive nuclear war. And the third was announced in 2024 as the most ambitious version yet. A luxury city bored into a 450-meter mountain on the Saudi coast, invisible from the outside. To understand whether that last one is even possible, we need to go back to where mountain cities began. 8 centuries before the birth of Christ, the Phrygians started cutting into the rock of what is now central Turkey, and what they found beneath their feet changed everything. The rock there is called tuff, compressed volcanic ash that is soft enough to carve when first exposed to air, but hardens over time into something that outlasts almost everything built above ground. Early Christians fleeing persecution moved in. Byzantine populations expanded the space further during 400 years of Arab conflict. And the result of all that digging was Derinkuyu, 18 levels deep, 85 meters below the surface, capable of housing 20,000 people. The engineering holds up even by modern standards, with 52 ventilation shafts running the full depth of the city to push fresh air down to every level, and the main shaft doubling as a water well 55 meters deep. Circular stone doors weighing up to 500 kilograms could be rolled shut from the inside, but no one outside could move them. Water access was deliberately restricted floor by floor, so that if invaders broke through, they could only poison one level's supply, not the whole city's. Derinkuyu sat forgotten after 1923, when the last Christian population left Turkey in a forced population exchange, until 1963, when a man knocked down a wall in his basement and found a hidden tunnel behind it. Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado, May 18, 1961. The Americans who broke ground that day were not hiding from invaders. They were trying to survive a nuclear war, and that single requirement determined everything about what they built. NORAD needed a command center buried 2,000 feet inside solid granite, and the original estimate was $66 million. By February 6, 1967, when the facility opened fully operational, $142 million had been spent. Call it $1.5 billion today. 15 freestanding 3-story buildings went up inside that mountain, each one mounted on over 1,300 steel coil springs to absorb a nuclear shockwave. 2 blast doors sealed the entrance, each 3 feet thick and weighing 23 tons, designed to close in 20 seconds. 6 million gallons of water sat stored in granite pools alongside 500,000 gallons of diesel fuel, and the facility ran its own fire department, hospital, chapel, and a tavern. The staff called the Granite Inn. The whole complex was rated to survive a 30-megaton blast, roughly 2,000 times the force of Hiroshima. The mountain nearly stopped the project before it started because midway through excavation, the crew hit an unexpected geological fault, and fixing it required a specially engineered concrete dome that cost an additional $2.7 million. The blast doors have closed outside of drills exactly once, on September 11, 2001. Somewhere in the complex there is also a broom closet, officially labeled Stargate Command, a nod to the TV show that set its fictional interstellar base in the same mountain. On January 10, 2024, Architecture Studios Lava and Name Architecture unveiled a project called Aquelum, part of Saudi Arabia's NEOM megaproject, a $500 billion plan to build futuristic cities along the country's northwest coast. The concept, a luxury city carved entirely inside a 450-meter mountain on the Gulf of Aqaba, no visible facade, no windows facing out. From the outside, the mountain just looks like a mountain. The architects call it an ultra-luxury upside-down skyscraper, the kind where everything faces inward, and the only way you'd ever know a city was in there is if someone told you. Getting in requires boarding a vessel at a concealed floating marina and traveling through an underground canal that opens into an open square at the city's lowest level. A central atrium 100 meters tall connects the floors above, with hotels, residences, cinemas, and event spaces running through it. The only part visible from above ground is the rooftop, described as a cloud garden. Lead architect Tobias Walliser put it plainly: the facade faces inwards instead of outwards. Things are inside out and upside down. 2 main methods exist for cutting through hard rock at this scale: drill and blast. where workers pack holes with explosives and detonate in cycles, which is how 693,000 tons of granite came out of Cheyenne Mountain, and tunnel boring machines, enormous rotating disc cutters that grind through kilometers of rock without a single explosion. Rock fails under tension, which means ceilings and walls need constant engineering attention or they collapse. Faults appear without warning. Groundwater has to be managed at every depth, and ventilation becomes a full engineering problem on its own. Derinque solved it with 52 carved shafts. Cheyenne Mountain with mechanical systems and Aquilum will need its own answer. Construction on the line stopped on September 16, 2025. Just stopped. Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund suspended the work pending a strategic review. And what that review uncovered wasn't encouraging. A leaked internal audit found evidence of deliberate manipulation in project reporting, and the original 2030 completion date had quietly become a target of just 2.4 kilometers of finished structure, with full completion pushed somewhere between 2045 and 2080. By August 2025, the fund had recorded an $8 billion write-down, and the deputy CEO confirmed at Davos that more than $50 billion had already gone into the ground. Trojena, the Neo-Emsky resort, was supposed to host the 2029 Asian Winter Games. Those games moved to Almaty, Kazakhstan in January 2026. Aquilum carries no confirmed budget, no start date, no timeline, and no construction contract. As of today, it is a set of architectural renders and a press release. 3 attempts, 2 that actually got built, 1 that exists only on paper. Derinque took centuries, housed 20,000 people, and sat forgotten in a basement until a man knocked his way into it in 1963. Cheyenne Mountain took 6 years and $142 million and still runs today. The third was announced in 2024, has no confirmed start date, and belongs to a project currently suspended. The ancient engineers of Cappadocia had one advantage none of the modern projects share. They never had a budget meeting.